is the step close. Typically what I see as a coach, a lot of times when people aren't good at something like the step close is they'll end up not being able to attack the ball. So as soon as the set is off, they'll slow down, which is not something you want to do when you're trying to attack. Makes it very easy for the defense to pick up on a tip or a slow shot. And then the second thing is they'll try to make the adjustment in the air, which isn't as good either because the blockers are more likely to be able to line up in front of you if you try to make the adjustment in the air versus on the ground 50. So the step close is very important to be able to get your feet in position to make sure you're in a strong attack position every single time. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Okay, so the step close puts you in the right position to be able to attack the ball hard, consistently. The thing that you want to make sure that you're doing with your feet is you want to make sure that you are open to the hitter or the setter all the time. That way, when the ball comes, you can keep it in front or you can still keep it in front of your hitting shoulder this way. The issue that I'll see the most is that sometimes people won't step close and their right shoulder will be over their arm and they can't get the set that's inside. Okay, so that's why we got to make sure that we're open with our step close and that we're able to get to the ball that way. We're going to start inside the 10-foot line just because we're doing the last part of our approach. Okay, I'm about 6'1", 6'2", so I would say I'm a tall girl, small guy, but basically I know I can get from here to the net with just 2 steps, all right? So when you're practicing this, you're pretty much going to start inside the 10-foot line, maybe on top of the 10-foot line if you're a taller person, but you want to start inside the 10-foot line because you're just working on the last 2 steps, okay? So the thing that you want to do is you want to start with your arms already in position to be able to do a double arm lift. When we do our arm lift, it's going to help us be able to jump higher. With our feet, we're going to make sure that we're staying open like I mentioned before. So we're going to start here. All we're going to do is go right, left, and get in this position, okay? If you're left-footed, or if you're left-handed, it's the opposite. You're going to start this way, and then you're going to go left, right, okay? But since I'm right-handed, I'm just going to keep doing it as a right, all right? So basically, your coaches will tell you you have a 4-step approach, a 3-step approach. It doesn't matter how many steps you take. The last 2 steps are going to be the most important always, all right? So like I said, you're going to start in this position, a little bit open to the setter. Your first step is going to be down, and then your next step is going to be up, okay? Now I'm going to go through that full speed. And once again, this is something you can practice without a ball. The last 2 steps are always the fastest of your approach, okay? Okay, so the next part of the drill, you want to add a ball, and if you have someone who can toss it for you, that's great. The key thing about the toss is that it's not a high toss. You just want to get the toss right above the net. As an attacker, this is kind of me working out of the middle position, all right? Once again, I only have 2 steps to get to the setter, so it doesn't matter if they set it high or low. You just have 2 steps to get there. I'm not going to worry about hitting it because not everybody has tons of balls that they can just keep repping it, but you just want to make sure that you focus on the feet and what your feet are doing, all right? You can work on the swings at another time, but this is about the footwork right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go through it right now. Like I said, he's just going to toss it right above the net, and I'm just going to try to get there with just 2 steps. Okay, now the next part of this drill, you got to work on being able to get your timing down with just the 2 steps while the toss is coming further away. So now I'm going to line up on the outside, and the coach is going to toss it, and I'm just going to try to make the adjustments once again with my last 2 feet. It doesn't matter if it's a great setter or not. The whole point of this drill is to work on getting those last 2 feet in the right position to attack. So even if he tosses it inside, which is close to him, I should be able to make my adjustment with my feet and still be able to attack it. Or if he pushes it all the way too far, I should be able to make that last adjustment with my last 2 feet. So regardless of where he goes, as long as it gets above the net at some point, I should have a chance to attack. And you won't see me slow down to try to tip it. I'm going to try to get my feet there and jump every single time. Okay. Good. Okay, now the last part of the drill, you want to add in the other steps of your approach before you get to this last step close. Once again, the step close, you can make the adjustment if it's fast, you can make the adjustment if it's higher. It's not important about the speed of the set as much as it is with you getting your feet in a position where you can attack the ball high, all right? So your feet do not determine where you attack the ball in the net, your feet determine where you attack the ball at your peak, all right? So coach is gonna toss it, in this last part of the drill, he's not gonna always try to toss a perfect toss. Sometimes he might toss it inside, sometimes he might toss it outside, sometimes he might toss it close to the 10-foot line. It's my job to make the adjustment with my feet and still be able to put myself in a position to attack. Okay, so in closing, once again, it doesn't really matter where the tosses go as long as you're working on getting your feet to the ball and being able to attack it and keep it high all the time. There's not really a point in which when you're working on this drill that you have to slow down and just tip or put the ball over, right? You always try to work on keeping your hand high. The next thing you can do in this drill, you can add a blocker on the other side of the net, and the blockers are doing the same thing. You gotta read the feet, figure out where they're going, and get in front. So that's the next level of this kind of drill progression, is adding a blocker. And then after that, it's just whether you can keep moving the ball around and can keep attacking when you start getting the 6-on-6 involved. So that's all I got for you guys. Thanks again. Mahalo and stay safe.